Hello and good morning. Excited to get on with our Shaar Habitachon class. And I don't know if you've been hearing the buzz, but a lot of people are really getting into this Shaar Habitachon, the gates of trust. I feel like we're in a generation now that people are realizing we need to put our trust in a higher power, in the creator of the universe. And it's becoming, and I'm not even talking about in the Chabad community, I'm talking about Jews around the world are really tapping into this treat of having a book like Shaar Habitachon available for all of us, available for the masses. And I'm so excited for this journey. Good morning, Elise. Good morning, Francesca. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Want to make sure that the phone is good and it's charging okay. Can you hear me, everyone? Just give me the thumbs up so I know that we're okay. Okay, if you can hear me, Arlene, if you can hear me, Shirel, just say good morning. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I'm fine. A few weeks ago we had some issues and I wasn't sure. Good, we can hear everybody. All right, good morning, Helga. Good morning, Becky. Great to see you all. Okay, good, Elise. Excellent. Fantastic. All right. Hi, good morning, Arlene. So we will get started. It's an extremely gorgeous day here in the city of Toronto. And show me with some emojis if you are positive this morning, excited, motivated, uplifted, going places. I need to see some hearts to know that we are all on the same page, that we're getting into this book today of Shaar Habitachon with a lot of positivity and a lot of hope. Oh, Francesca is absolutely excited. All right. All right. Good morning, Tova and Michelle. Good morning. Do I see a lot of joy today? Do I feel the joy? All right. And by the way, I'm really hoping that very soon we are going to start classes indoors because I really don't like talking to an empty room. But when I get your feedback here, hi, Michelle, when I get your feedback, the hearts, the love, the thumbs up, then I know that I can feel it. It's coming through the phone. All right. Good morning, everyone. Okay. We're going to start off, of course, as we always do, everyone to give tzedakah. Gedal tzedakah shemekarebes es hageulah. Always start off our day with charity. Always. After Moda'ani, got to put that coin in. Because if we're going to daven, we got to ask Hashem. Oh, Becky, mazel tov. Becky just had a baby on Sunday, and I believe it's a baby boy. Am I right, Becky? And something tell me that it's your 10th? We are so excited for you, Becky. If we could all take out our wine and say Elachayim for Becky in Israel. Yes, definitely. Give us a little insight into the baby. A boy or a girl. And we're very excited, Becky. And please have an easy recovery and a big bracha on raising this child. Okay. See, it's a great day. Good morning, Rosalie. Good morning, Francis. Amazing to see everybody. Everyone's looking good and happy. I feel those hearts going up. It's putting me in a great mood. And I know that everyone's excited about Mazel Tov. Yes, Arlene's saying Mazel Tov too. Okay. Chapter Chaf. We are going to be saying, hi, good morning, Gail. Okay, Becky, you're getting a lot of Mazel Tovs from here. Hey, Marilyn, good morning. Good morning, Lara. Glad to be here. Good, same here. Okay, we're going to say Tehillim today for a list of people who need our Refuah Shalema. And if you have anyone else you want to add on, that this class should be in the schus of their complete recovery. A lot of people that are on our list are having really good news. Becky, boy number 10. That is, boy, but it's your 10th child. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hopefully we can all, as a group, we can make a trip to Israel and come visit you, Becky. Okay, Israel's our next stop. Okay, here we go. Yaakov Moshe ben Necha, Yehudis bas Sarah, Yitzchak Moshe ben Rachel Reza, Tzipora Hinda bas Rachel Miriam, Sarah bas Chana, Chana Devora bas Golda Basya, Menucha bas Emmanuel, Sarah bas Rivka, Yisrael ben Sarah Mindel, Nechamadina bas Esther Hadassah, Hen Yitzipora bas Chaya Yocheved, Tuvia Moshe ben Perol, and Liran Bracha bat Shendel Leah, Eyal ben Hadassah, Sarah bas Vega, Esther Yocheved bas Rezel Bracha, Leah bat Chevsiba, Leah bat Rivka Malka. Okay, we're doing a lot of davening, which means we really have to put a lot of kavanah into our learning today. Batya bas Lara. Yes. You know, just getting over this sinus infection. Thank you, Becky. My head's a little groggy. You can see a little bit my whole face. But we're getting over it, and we're going to be good. It's one of the things I got from my mom, right? We all get some great gifts from our parents. This is one of them. As long as it's not COVID. I took 3 tests because I couldn't believe that there wasn't COVID, and Baruch Hashem, it's a sinus. Eitan ben Leah. Okay, we've got a lot of people we're davening for today. Yona ben Etka. I have a sinus infection, Corinne. It's on the tail end, but it wasn't fun. Okay, here we go. Lamanatseach Mizmar LeDavid. Yancha Dinar B'Yem Tzara Yisagefcha Shem LeHaakov. Yisrach Ezer Mikodesh Umitzion Yisadeka. Yiskar Kol Michotecha Va'olascha Yidash Nesela. Yiten Lecha Chavavecha V'chol Atzascha Yimale. Rana B'Shuasecha V'Shem Eloheinu Nidgol. Yimalei Adonai Kol Shalasecha. Ata Yadati Ki Hoshia Adonai Mishicho. Yaneu Mishmei Kotra B'Gvuras Yesha Yemino. Eila Varecha Ve'ela Vasusim Anachnu B'Shem Adonai Eloheinu Naskir. Hey Makaru V'Nafalu V'Anachnu Kamnu V'Nisotad. And let's give it all we got. Adonai Hoshia Hamelech Yanenu B'Yom Karenu. You know, here in school we gather our children every once in a while to say Tehillim, and we have them sitting in the shul, and they fill up all the chairs, and we say chapter 20, and we also do the psukim, and this part, even the little 3 and 4-year-olds, they know it, and they scream out, Adonai, Hoshia, Hamelech, Yanenu, V'yom Karenu, which basically means that we know Hashem will deliver us, and Hashem will answer our call. And we have here Yehuda ben Gila, and we have Olivia Bat Santiago. Okay. I'm just fixing my phone here, sorry. It's a little bit klutzy today. You know, when you have a sinus, it's like everything's off, you know? It's very funny. I don't know. Everything's affected. Okay, there we go. All right. Good morning, Lucian. Good morning, Lauren, and Mazel Tov to you as well. Okay. So now we're going to get started with our learning Shaar Habitachon. 3 teaspoons, good quality salt, and a cup of pre-boiled cold water. Okay, I will do that. Thank you so much, Michelle. Good morning, Lauren. Okay, so we're still up to chapter 3 in Shaar Habitachon, but today we're talking actually about the 5 prefaces of who you can trust in. And the first preface was those 7 qualities, which we did a few weeks ago, and now we're up to the second preface. And he says this: we have to realize that to have complete trust means no lip service. Aha. So what does that mean? So I saw somewhere it says there's no lying in prayer. You know, sometimes we stand in shul and we shuckle, and what went through our mind was who just walked into shul and what kind of shoes she's wearing, and wow, that's a strong perfume, and oh, I love that jacket, and I heard her husband wasn't doing so well lately, and all these things go through our mind, and the shul is over and like, did I even daven? So what do you mean? You stood there, I mean, you were shaken away, you were flipping through the siddur, you were sitting in the chair, of course you were davening. There are times in life that you could pretend to be there, like you're at a ball game and you can pretend you're cheering, but you're totally not into the ball game. You could be sitting at a lecture and it's going in one ear and out the other, and you have totally not even gotten yourself in that mode of listening. But when it comes to prayer, we can't lie in prayer. And here, Rabbeinu Bachai is telling us the same thing. He says, when it comes to prayer, nothing is concealed from him. And that's why this third preface is our trust in Hashem. We can't just be talking the talk. And we can't even be walking the walk. We can't even be pretending. Because trust in Hashem is something that God knows. You know, there is a very interesting pasuk in the Pirkei Avos. And it says, B'makom, and actually I love this one. For some reason, you know, not all Pirkei Avos stay in my head, but this one always has made an impression on me. Tell me if you've ever heard it before. B'makom she'ein ish, hishtadel lihiyot ish. Has anybody heard that before? I'll say it again slowly. B'makom she'ein ish, hishtadel lihiyot ish. This is a very interesting pasuk in Pirkei Avot, the ethics of our fathers. Has anybody heard it before? If you have, give me a thumbs up. Just want to know that I'm being clear today. What does it mean? B'makom she'ein ish. In a place where there is no man, or no responsible person, or no mensch. And it's not talking about female or male here. It's talking about an individual. B'makom, there isn't an individual that is stepping up to the plate, being responsible. Lihishtadel lihiyot ish. Try to be that person. And this is a very beautiful, one of the beautiful psukim in Pirkei Avot. It's basically telling you, let's say, you're at a park. Two kids are fighting. Maybe two teenagers. No one is saying a word. No one. Or someone's bullying another one. And no one's saying a word. People are watching. They're looking on. And they're busy with their phones. B'makom she'ein ish. In a place where no one's standing up to take responsibility and make mature decisions. You be that ish. You walk up and say something. You know, for me, this is a very easy pasuk, and I'll tell you why. I grew up with a father, Yisrael ben Sarmindel, Shahav Gzunte Langiyarn, who always made everyone else's business his. And maybe sometimes it was too much. And there were people that tell you it was too much. But there are thousands of people in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, that will come over to me and say, your father is my hero. Why? Because b'makom she'ein ish, hishtadel lihiyot ish. He made everyone's business his. And I don't mean mixing into someone's private business. But if someone was walking alone at night, and it looked like it was dangerous, my father would stop the car and ask that person, why are you walking alone? Can I give you a ride home? If an elderly woman was walking with 5 bags and she couldn't walk because there were such heavy bags, you know, just on a side joke, which is, there was a cartoon that a woman was carrying like 8 shopping bags on one hand and 12 on the other hand. She was walking in from her car and it says, the cause of death, carrying too many bags from your car. You know, like when I'm only going to make one trip to my house today. I'm not coming back and forth to the car. I'm going to take everything in one time. So my father saw people walking with bags. He would stop the car and say, where are you going? He'd pop up his trunk. The lady would put the stuff into the trunk and my father would take that person home. Old men, old women, young men. If it was raining and they didn't have an umbrella, my father, hishtadel lihiyot ish. He made it his business to become that person. Okay? And if this resonates with you, give me a thumbs up. If you've done something like this in the past, and you stopped someone along the way and said, do you need something? Are you looking for a ride? someone's struggling to get their credit card and you could see that they're flustered because maybe they don't have money or they left their credit card. Are you the person that will pull out $20 and say, it's okay, here, you can take the $20? Have you ever been on the receiving end from that? Right? Someone jumped up to be that ish. That person that took responsibility. I love this part of Pirkei Avot. B'makom she'ein ish hishtadel lihiyot ish. What beautiful, Corinne. And if you want to put down in some points on the comments, when was that? And how all of us can do it. But now I'm going to give you a deeper insight. Are you ready? I'm going to give you a deeper insight into what this means. And Rabbi Ibn Bechaya, this is alluded to. What does it mean? It means, b'makom she'ein ish. Where in life is there a place that no person can ever enter? I want to see if I can get comments here. Which place in your life, in your essence, that no one other than you can enter? Where is that? Thank you, Lauren. Thank you so much, sweetie. Who knows? Because I'm going a little bit deeper into this piskam, and instead of just b'makom she'ein ish hishtadel lihiyot ish, not the typical way it is translated. But how does it mean? How is it possible in someone's life? B'makom she'ein ish. Thank you, Arlene. Thank you, Lauren. In your mind and in your heart, no one can go there. And that's what Ibn Bechaya is saying to us. No one really knows what you're thinking. It's very, very tragic. I am counseling a young woman from somewhere, a country in Europe. I won't mention names. And she's been married a few years. And she found out recently that her husband has been doing some porn watching. Unfortunately, he has an addiction. And she feels so violated and so sad. And now she's actually feeling like there's no place for her in this relationship, because if his mind is elsewhere, then what are they doing when they're with having intimacy? Is he thinking about her, or is he thinking about the images that, God forbid, Rahman al-San, that he's been seeing on internet? This is a real problem that so many people are struggling with today. Internet was a great gift and brought such incredible opportunities for our generation. But beautiful, Corinne, beautiful, I love that. As I was saying, internet technology has been so powerful and has brought the world so much closer and has brought in so much hope and love and kindness and compassion and charity to people because the internet, right? Someone says that we need to say Tehillim. Before you know it, thousands of people are praying. But Zeh Umazeh Asalakim. Remember what that means? That God created the world with balance. And anytime there's anything that's good, Hashem always gives the opposite, the same amount of koach, the same amount of opportunity, because we need to have free will. I think this is the challenge that people don't understand. Why is it so hard to be good? Because God is making it challenging for us to choose good. Because if we didn't choose good, then we would just be angels. And God wanted us to choose to make a dir b'tachtonim, to choose to make the good, not to be forced. And when we have equal opportunity and we choose good, that is so valuable and so much more meaningful than as opposed to, hey, we're doing good because that's what everyone's doing and I don't have a choice. So this woman is struggling so much with, where is her husband's mind? I'm going to speak in New York in 2 weeks to the young professionals in Manhattan. And the lecture they want me to speak on is intimacy in the bedroom. And one of the really, really delicate things that we speak about is that when a couple is intimate, it's wonderful that they're physically intimate and that they're together and they're facing one another, right? The Torah says eye to eye and to face each other, heart to heart, lips to lips. But more than that is the mind, because nobody knows what is going on in our mind. And so Rebbe Bechaya talks about this, and he says, and I'll read it in the Hebrew, he says, V'hakdama hashenis, sheyeda v'yispara etzel, ki habor yisparach mashkif alav, ve'ein ne'eleh mimenu, niglehu v'nistaru utzfono v'nireu. A person should know, and it should be clear to him, that the Creator is watching over him, and nothing is concealed from him. Neither these actions that the person performs in public, but more so is those actions that are performed in private, that are hidden from others. Wow. Now, for those of you watching, let's be honest. Is this a terrifying thought? Give me a thumbs up. I want feedback right now. I'm going to wait, because this is terrifying in a way. It's liberating because we know Hashem is everywhere, but it also means that when we think things, Hashem is there. What do you think about this? What are your thoughts about this thing that Rabbi Bechaya just told us? That nothing is concealed from him, neither those actions that the person performs in public and are revealed for others to see, nor those actions the person performs in private and are hidden from others. Even his thoughts are not concealed from God. Neither those that are hidden from him, that are hidden from other people, and those that are apparent through his speech and action. God always knows if the person's reliance on him is wholehearted or not. And this is the crux of today's class. Hashem knows if you have trust. We can all walk around and saying, I trust in God. Bitchu b'Hashem adayad. I say it in prayers. Hello. I say it. V'yiftuchu b'Hashem. I say it. What do you mean? Of course I believe. But, Corinne, it is uncomfortable, but it's our Creator. It's our Father in heaven. And like Arlene says, she has no shame for Hashem to see or hear. Hashem created us. He's our Creator. See, He knows our mind. He knows our heart. And knowing that He knows that can allow us to make mind shifts. And that's a good thing. If we're thinking ill of someone, or we're uncomfortable of things we're thinking about, or our ideas or our thoughts are going a certain direction, and we realize, Hashem knows my thoughts. I got to change. And we change. And even though we think no one else can see us, but Hashem can. And yes, it's good to have a little shame. Shirel says, perhaps people don't think Hashem is watching, so do they believe they have a belief in Hashem? Well, there's emunah and bitachon. Emunah, we spoke about many times. Oh, Gail, we're going to talk about that in a second. So we know that many people talk around saying, I believe in God. That's why I come to Shul on Yom Kippur. That's why I have a mezuzah on my door. I believe there's a God. But bitachon is a much deeper level. That's what we're getting at in our classes. It's not just a typical belief, I believe there's a God, and that's why I fast on Yom Kippur. Bitachon means that every second of our day we're aware that God is involved in my life. Gail says, it comforts me knowing it makes me want to be a better person, role model to my children. Exactly, and that's the point, Gail. Knowing that God is constantly involved in my life makes me much more in tune with my behavior, with my connection to my traditions and my religion. It makes me much more connected to my family, because I know as a wife and as a mom, my job is to make everyone a better person. And I do that because I know it's my job. God told me, you are the Akeret HaBayit. He was very clear with our role when he told that to Chava. You are the mother of life, and you're going to raise your families, and you're going to set the tone. And the fact that you know that he's watching you, well, he just watches your externals? No, Kareem. He watches what's going on inside as well. And we spoke about so much in Tanya that we have the ability to change our thoughts, which is okay, because when we catch ourselves and go, whoa, 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 where was my mind going now for those 25 minutes? Got to get out of that. First of all, for myself, like if it was a negative thought, why should I allow negative thought to be in my mind rent-free, right? If it was negative thoughts about someone else or about something that's coming up or anxiety, I don't even allow that to come. And I have to be honest with you, I always thought I had bitachon, but ever since I started learning with you guys, Shaar Habitachon, my bitachon has gone up. Like my anxiety is just totally, I do that whole exercise that we do together. Breathe in bitachon. Exhale anxiety. And when I do that, it's not just a physical activity. It's a conscious thought process that I'm thinking about bringing in Hashem. Hashem is in charge. I'm trusting Hashem. He's good. He's got my back. I'm not worried. He's got my back, and it's going to be good. It's going to be good for me. I know Hashem cares about me so much, like I care about my kids, and I just have to make that analogy. I love my children. I love my grandchildren so much. They know that I will do anything. I will stay up nights for them. I'll run to across the world for them. They know that. And Hashem will do that for us. And that's why it releases my anxiety and instills in me, what's the word I'm looking for? Peace of mind, menuchas hanefesh. Corinne says, yes, the breathing has worked for you. Yeah, it works for me too. And I start off my morning and I know, like, whatever I plan, if it's meant to be, it's going to be. And if it doesn't happen, it's because it wasn't meant to be. I'm not losing sweat over it because God didn't want it to happen. And I don't put my trust that someone else made it not happen. That's the key. Rabbeinu Bechaya tells us something so brilliant. Because I don't trust in dual trusts, because the next preface he says is, it's exclusive trust in God. It's not just I trust in God and I also trust in my investments. I trust in God. I also trust in my doctor. I trust in God. No. I only trust in God. The doctors are there to be God's messengers, nothing more. And if there are any doctors that listen to it, you know the Torah's view. You are given a gift to heal, but you are not the ultimate healer. God is the healer. And that is so important for two things. Number one, I'll have people all the time that call me up and say, my husband's dying. What do you mean? The doctor said he has 3 weeks left to live. Who's the doctor? Dr. God? Who does the Shmendrick think he is that he's putting a time on your husband or your father or your mother? The doctors know things. We're not in denial. But for a doctor to come out and say, they can say to you, things are looking bad, but with God's help, just throw in a little humility. And I know so many doctors who have that humility. They will say to me, we are messengers of God. We have given the gift of healing from God. Wow, to find a doctor like that, that is so beautiful. You know the joke they say, what's the difference between God and a doctor? God doesn't think he's a doctor, but the doctors think they're God. It's sad truth for some doctors, but not for all. So many doctors have that humility where they know that they are messengers. And if a person will live, Hashem gives them the right medicine. And if a person's supposed to die, even the right medicine won't work because that person's life is meant to end. And Hashem decides the end date. Not me, not you, not doctors. You know, there's a great story I'm going to share with you. It's told about the Chautauquaver Rebbe. He lived in Vienna. And this is many, many years ago. This is like in the early 1900s. And there was a very, very wealthy Jew who had a terrible disease. And he came to Vienna to see the great specialists. In his shtetl where he lived, they there's no hope. But go to Vienna. There they have the best doctors. And so he went to the top doctors, the top specialists in the field. And everyone said to him, there's no hope. He spoke to a friend, a chassid, who said to him, why don't you go see the Chertokover Rebbe? By the way, the Chertokover Rebbe is from the Hasidic dynasty, also from the Baal Shem Tov and the Maggid of Mezrich. He's one of the Hasidic circles. You don't hear about them anymore. I don't know if there's many Hasidim left of that dynasty, but they are from a strong rabbinic dynasty. Anyway, so a chassid of this Rebbe said, why don't you go see my Rebbe? He goes, what? I don't believe in Rebbes. I believe in doctors. He goes, hey, honey, the doctors haven't given you hope. Go get a blessing. So he drags his feet and goes, makes an appointment with this Rebbe. He comes into the Rebbe's room, and the Rebbe says to him, I want you to go to a specific GP here in Vienna. He says, Rebbe, with all due respect, I've come here for specialists. I don't go to a family doctor for this very, very terrible illness. I mean, this is an illness that I'm dying from. The Rebbe says to him, go to this family doctor. Okay, so he's here in Vienna anyway. He's going to listen. He walks in to the doctor and he gets the treatment and he's healed. So he goes back to this Rebbe and he says, what just happened? How did I heal? So he said to him, what don't you understand? Healing comes from God. Oh, Joanne, we got to talk about that in a second. Healing comes from God. And it says, Rape Yirape. I will give the doctors the ability to heal. So the tzaddik says, I brought down the blessings from Hashem, and I said, this man should be blessed. This man should be healed. And that doctor was given the blessing of Rape Yirape. It's not always the great specialists that give you that healing. It's the blessing of God. And we see it today. There are people that we're praying today on our Tehillim list that have been ill. And because of the thousands of people around the world that are praying for them, they are still here. They shouldn't be here according to their doctors. Joanne says she is 3 years cancer-free, thank God, and daily prayers from Rabbi Beryl's show. That is unbelievable. And Joanne, you should continue having such good health. And all of us here, let's shower her with blessings that the doctors should know exactly what they have to do for you. And they will be blessed by Hashem to be that conduit for healing. So I want to wish you all a beautiful, beautiful day, a day of healing, a day of love, a day of life, a day of joy, a day of compassion, a day of giving, a day of forgiving, a day of blessings and abundance. And we'll see you next week.